Welcome to episode 2 of Eros on Trial, my true crime series. For today's episode, I wanted to zoom us all the way out or all the way in, depending on how you want to look at it, and give some deeper context to how we ended up here at all. How did Eros come to be on trial in this way? Me Too started kind of cool. I thought, oh, this is neat. What is this? All the women of the world are banding together to unearth secrets and proclaim their liberated energy from keeping these secrets. And they're all doing it together. And it feels like this big movement, like this big momentum, this arising of something, some kind of power maybe coming up through the ground and coming into expression together. For me, when there's something like that happening, it's really interesting, but I also get nervous because I wonder, is this going to end up being yet another thing in the world that shows up with one mask, but underneath, it's actually just going to be another way that takes women's sexuality down, that cuts them off from it further, that increases the shame that they feel about it. The whole entire thing of this feeling of power rising, I felt just got completely hijacked by this tsunami of blaming and shaming men for their hunger. And that's not to dismiss the nuance of the stories. A lot of different kinds of stories came out. My dream would have been that it was this really nuanced conversation that was capable of holding a lot of different points of view all at once, kind of seeing through the surface level of it into some of the deeper roots of why this stuff happens. It's like looking at it with a little bit more of an unflinching eye. It just became this total nightmare of canceling people and witch hunting people. So you start a movement that begins as presenting itself as something virtuous, something that is for women, something that is protecting women. And then the media becomes this amplifier of the blame and shame aspect of the movement because that's what gets the most clicks. And then the government comes in as the ultimate protector, the ultimate daddy to save the day. Our entire society is set up in a way that keeps people disconnected from their bodies and keeps them disconnected from their power. One taste, similar to psychedelics, but utilizing orgasmic meditation, was liberating people. So in the same way that the war on drugs was a cover for an attack on certain populations of people and an attack on substances that take you into mystical states, the war on sex attacks women's psyches around their sexuality and has them feel completely cut off from it. By far, the most dangerous thing about One Taste has always been that it is a place where women come to get actual sovereign access to their own sexuality. And so when you have these organizations or these communities or these companies or whatever it is, pop up that are like, liberation over here, come get it, they often go through a great deal of demonization, projection, and attack. Because in a very real way, they do threaten the fabric of society. I think it's fair to say at this point that I don't think anyone is super thrilled with the way the fabric of society is currently set up.
The fabric of society is very complex, George.
So you saw with One Taste all these stories that were much more focused on fear than on facts. And the way the journalism was in them was super amplifying of anything to be afraid of in the situation. It's like fuzzy photos, scary music. And then the government takes their cue from the media. And then what do you know? Their case is also entirely focused on fear instead of facts. The defense in this case against One Taste was telling them for a year to look at this mountain of proof that they were hanging their whole case on fabricated evidence, and they wouldn't even look at it. How are we doing post Me Too movement? Did it get us any closer to our power? What are our results? When I look around, I don't see us any closer to erotic expression or power as a culture. I don't see women's relationship with themselves, each other, or with men any more mended. Is it time to question our protectors? Is it time to question all of the different things in our day-to-day lives that are saying, oh, this is for your safety? Because as far as I can tell, every single thing that we think is a protector is protecting us from one thing and one thing only, and that is our power. Ladies, it's going to be a really long, hard path, but I think it'll be worth it. It's time we reclaim our sexuality. That concludes episode 2 of Eros on Trial, my true crime series. Stay tuned. Episode 3 will come soon.